Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome back to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and I have some really cool stuff to share with you today. I have been working feverishly on my Lego City. I've just kind of gotten in a rhythm here. I'm trying to get a lot done before this upcoming small Lego show I've told you guys about. Actually, it's not a Lego show, it's an art show, but a small event that I told you guys about in my sort and chat. If you haven't heard of it, I will be talking about it again, but I have been working on the larger buildings in my city. I'm really bad at doing one project at a time, so I've actually been working on 3 projects at a time, the 3 largest buildings in the city. The first one, which I've talked about quite a bit, is coming along nicely, and that is this one. This is the bar / brewery, and it's a 3-story building. It's designed to look like a old reclaimed warehouse building. So you've got this kind of dilapidated brick texture. I did a whole video on how to do that texture. Let me get nice and close here so you can see how that looks. Obviously I got some mismatched windows right now. These are all going to be brown windows when I'm done. I think I've got 100 of these on order. So that'll fill up all these window slots here. You can see this side as well. These will also be brown. I've got some kind of reclaimed sections here that looks like it used to be like either an extension of the building or an old fire escape. I decided to add this little detail, which I thought turned out cool, where I put these posts sticking out, look like a rebar that had been cut off, and then just little chunks of concrete that still remained on it. I thought that was a nice little effect. Down here we have some more crumbling concrete, and same with the window sills on these 2 levels. Got these awnings on here, the nice mixture of dark green and white, I think looks great. I love how that wooden sign turned out there. I got a couple lights over that as well. That's going to be the sign for the brewery and the tavern or the bar right here over the door. Got our steps up into the entrance here. I just started this 3rd story, so it has a lot of work to go. It's just basically the facade right now. And I'm going to talk about the back here and these openings and all that here. Let's go ahead and dive into all the layers. Also had a lot of fun running this drain spout down the side, and it is set up so I can separate it at each layer, and it comes apart nice and seamless. And then, of course, some added details like these electrical pipes, conduit, whatever you want to call them, the lanterns, lots of cool stuff going on here. Let's go ahead and go through layer by layer and talk about my plans for this building. And then we'll talk about the one that goes next to it. So this is our top layer. Obviously, we need a lot of work here. This is likely going to be 1 or 2 apartments up at the top. I might split it like kind of down the middle and do a couple smaller apartments, up above the businesses here. So that's my plan thus far for this. If you have some cooler idea, let me know in the comments. I'm always open to good suggestions. So that's the top. Now this floor is a little more complete. I am probably going to change some of these walls. A lot of this is just filler. It's very boring and a lot of the same. And it is obviously a different color. Whoops. I did that kind of on purpose to lighten it up a little bit. The idea here is that the outer facade is kind of this old, dilapidated building, but the inside has been like sectioned off. So that wall is a lot newer and maybe painted differently. But anyway, I'm thinking in this layer, I kind of want to do an art studio. So I have like an artist space and then maybe a small like gallery space, something along those lines, which I think would look really cool in there, and kind of split it in 2 for a creative space and then a showing space. That may change. Again, I'm open to suggestions. And then this is the brewery / bar. And if we look down in here, so this side I've got kind of this like corrugated paneling in there to look a little bit more industrial. And then I plan on putting like the brewing tanks over here, maybe with some bottling equipment. The bottling equipment might go into the basement. And then over here is just going to be a very small pub. So a little bar along this back wall, maybe a table in here, and that's going to be it. Just kind of a tasting room for the brewery. And then as we move down into the basement, which is a half basement, this is going to be storage and maybe bottling down here. So I'm just going to have lots of kegs lined up, bottles, cans, all that. I think I can make that look really cool. So that is the plan for this building. Now you might be saying, why does the back look all funky and why are there no stairs? Given that this is kind of a limited footprint, this is only a 16 by 32 footprint, I wanted to leave stairs out of this one. It takes up a lot of space in the actual build and limits what I can put inside of it if I have to make stairs for all these layers. The idea behind the building is that this is the front of what is a very large building going back into off of the city. So these are newer walls in here. These are all interior walls, where the orange on these two sides are the exterior walls. So that's kind of why I have doors here to indicate that, okay, you can actually leave, go further into the building where the stairs actually would be, getting you up these other layers. I like that plan. I feel like this main floor is going to look really bad if I work stairs in here. It's going to take up so much space and just kind of ruin the aesthetic. These two I could probably do a stair from here to here, but it wouldn't really make sense if I didn't have one here. I could do it, but I think it'll just complicate things. I think I might just put doors in here and then just kind of imply that you enter from the back of these different layers, because obviously this building would be a lot bigger than this if it were a reclaimed warehouse. So that's my idea here. I don't know if you guys like that philosophy or not, but that's what I'm sticking with for now, unless you can convince me otherwise. So this is what we're working with here. Now, as you might know, I've told you all in the past when I've talked about this building that next to it, I have kind of a more warehouse section, like a open bay garage type section or loading bay section. That is gone. I was going to have kind of an open air farmer's market next to it. And the more I looked at it, number one, this takes a lot of orange bricks or dark orange bricks. So I was kind of getting sick of using that much and having that much of that color in the city. And I also wanted a little bit taller profile. The farmer's market was just going to be kind of this first layer extended and then some roofs, like maybe an angled roof, 1, 2, 3, and that would be it. And looking at the downtown, I wanted a little bit more height in the back. So I actually scrapped that entire idea. I kept the basement of it, which looks pretty much just like the basement of this, changed the color of this portion, and it's actually made a completely new building. I got on a very creative, what do we call this here? A creative run last night, threw together some ideas and built feverishly for several hours until I came up with a building that I absolutely loved. Now, I started with the idea of a schoolhouse. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it looks like a schoolhouse, but maybe it has like stores inside instead of a schoolhouse. And then I was like, okay, maybe a courthouse. And then I'm like, wait a minute, this is a library. So what's actually going to be next to this is a library. And I've made a ton of progress on it. It's actually almost more complete than this building now. It's not as tall, but let me show you that one next. So this is our library, and I absolutely love how this is coming along. Lots of windows, lots of brickwork. I've been having a lot of fun doing the masonry on the front of this. These arches were quite challenging to figure out. I think they work just awesome in there. Still have some work to do here, still have to do a roof, and this wall is obviously going to butt up against this, so they will look like that. So I will have to continue the orange up here. They're not going to be the same height, but definitely has a nice tall profile. Again, this is all underground, so the street level will be right here. This light gray down here will not show, but that allows us to have basements on these. You may recognize this little gold decoration with the clock. That actually came from my holiday build. If you haven't seen that, I will post it here. That's from my winter challenge build, my holiday scene. So I thought it would fit just perfectly there. So I just plopped it right out of that build and right into this one. And I think I'm going to leave it just like that. One thing I really wanted to accomplish, I wanted a dark red building. But I've tried to do dark red buildings like schoolhouses in the past. And the problem I always run into is the dark red is just overpowering. If the whole building is dark red, it's just too dark and too monotonous. So to use that color very selectively, I think makes for a very good looking building. But you have to be very careful how much you use, because you can definitely overdo the dark red. That's why I think it complements great with the tan. It looks kind of like a limestone building that has brickwork in it, which is pretty common, at least I think so, at least around where I live. We see that in older buildings. My goal for this was to be an older building, but kind of a new renovation. So this is pretty common, I think, with libraries, where they have this older building, but they recently gutted it, put all new stuff in, put all new bookshelves and bookcases and furniture, and kind of updated it and maybe cleaned up and painted the outside to make it look nicer and fresher. So that's kind of the goal with this one. It's not going to look near as run down as our bar and a brewery here, but it is going to be an older looking building, just in a lot better shape. Now, let's talk about the back here. This is something I've been debating in my head, and I really like the idea of having this open. I'm going to build a roof, of course, but the back is completely open, and of course I could just fill in walls here. That's definitely doable. But on this one, for some reason, I like the idea of having it open. I call this dollhouse style, where you can actually reach in, look into it, and I want to furnish this really nicely with lots of different stuff. That'll be a future video I'll probably put out this week, putting furniture in this. But I really like how it's open. I don't want to do the same thing I did with this one with the doors. Now, I would do the same with this, but the reason I really want it back on this one was for this bar section. The bar is going to go right on the other side of this wall, and bars are very wall oriented. You got a lot of things, shelves and stuff hanging on the wall. So I have to have a backdrop for the bar, and I think that the tanks and stuff for the brewing would look funny without a wall behind it. So this one is going to have a back on it, but I think I'm going to leave this one open. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with that idea. In my city, this is going to face the wall, so no one's going to see the back anyway. It's going to save me a ton of parts. It's going to look really cool when you look in it, and it will give me a little bit extra space because I'll have an extra one stud to work with, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're trying to cram a full interior in one of these, it is a lot. I mean, it can make a huge difference. Whether a walkway works or doesn't work can all come down to one stud. So I think it's going to stay, I like to call dollhouse style. And yeah, that's my plan for this building. So pretty soon I'm going to furnish it. Oh, let's talk about the windows. So I used blue windows on these, and in videos past, I've had people comment to get rid of the blue windows, especially on vehicles. People don't like them. I actually really like them. I put them in there just as filler because I was out of clear ones and I was going to order more. And my typical go-to is clear glass and clear glass doors. But I have so many of these blue ones because I haven't been using them. But I put them in this, and for like kind of a commercial building, like this looks like something you would see like on a university. I really like it. I think I'm going to leave the blue. Let me know in the comments what you think about the blue, if that's if it's a good idea or if you think it looks generic and non-realistic. But for now, I really do think it looks good, and I kind of want to leave it. I think it looks better than it would if it were clear, to give kind of that tinted glass of a public library. Also, let's go through the layers on this. So this one pops off. I had to kind of work that arch in, so I had to do some creative stuff there. That's why you have this little platform up here. My goal for this, or my plan, this is going to be kind of the adult book section on this side. This up here is going to have some computers and maybe some lounge chairs. This over here is going to be the kids side. So I'm going to have toys and games, kids books, all that over here. As we go downstairs, kind of your checkout desk will be here, more books along these walls. I want to do some computers over here as well, sitting area in the front. My big question with this building, what do I put in the basement? I have absolutely no idea. I've got some thoughts of like utilities and storage, but that's kind of boring, although that's probably what would be down there. I need a good idea for what to put in the basement of a library. So let me know in the comments what you would put down there. I need something cool for the basement of this old library, because I think that could make for a really cool space to decorate up. Well, I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to do more just like this in the future. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.